It's 2024, and if you thought that the game release schedule was going to calm down after the whirlwind that was 2023, well, no, it's looking like we're in for another stacked year. So get those credit cards ready, because here are our most anticipated games of 2024. Starting off on January 26th, we have Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X/S, and PC. You might be thinking, didn't we just have a Like a Dragon game like 2 months ago? And you'd be right, but the man who erased his name was more of a traditional beat-em-up style Yakuza game, whereas Infinite Wealth is a sequel to the turn-based RPG Yakuza Like a Dragon. In this one, Ichiban is stranded in Honolulu, Hawaii, searching for his long-lost birth mother, while Kiryu also shows up looking for the same person. The big buzz around this game is that there's an Animal Crossing-like mode where you can spruce up an island as Ichiban that looks like wholesome, good-hearted fun. Also, Kiryu has cancer. I don't know what kind of a tone they're aiming for here. Also out on January 26th is Tekken 8 for PS5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC. I have very little experience with the Tekken series, so I couldn't even begin to explain what is going on in the story. All I know is that there was an old evil guy that got killed in the last one, and now his son is the new evil guy. And you can still play as the bear, which honestly is all I needed to hear. Persona 3 Reload releases on February 2nd for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X/S, and PC. This is of course a remake of Persona 3 with improved graphics and gameplay mechanics. Getting a revamped version of this title should be pretty exciting for Persona fans. Hopefully one day I can find a spare 100 hours to play it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the next part in the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy, and it's out on February 29th, yes, it's a leap year, for PS5. If you've got that FF7 nostalgia, then you've likely already drooled over the trailers to this game. It's got all your fan favorites like Sid, Vincent Valentine, Bugenhagen, they're all here. There are two major questions that most fans have about this game. First, are they actually going to kill Aerith, or will they throw us a curveball and let her survive? And the second question is, how are they going to do that Fort Condor tower defense minigame? Life by You comes out of early access on March 5th. For PC. This game is a life sim attempting to compete with the biggest life sim of all, The Sims. You'll be able to build a home, get married, skateboard, find treasure on the beach, all the normal life things you would expect. The game is promising an awful lot, but if it can live up to those promises, it could truly be the Sims killer that it wishes to be. Although one thing this game definitely needs to change is that font. What is that, Montserrat? The last game that we have a concrete release date for is Black Myth: Wukong, which is out on August 20th for PS5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC. This highly anticipated Souls-like action game is set in ancient China, and it features all kinds of wacky monster designs, like this man-bird or this giant bearded turtle. These should all be great bosses to fight, and I can't wait to scream at my TV after dying to all of them. Now we got games that don't have release dates yet, but we're pretty sure they're coming out this year. Or at least we really want them to come out this year. Starting off with Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, aka the Snake Eater remake. There were a lot of great remakes that came out last year, so there's reason to be excited about a remake for what is largely considered to be the best Metal Gear Solid game. The only concerns are that this game is coming from Konami, who haven't had the best track record as of late, and that this will be the second Metal Gear project without the guiding hand of Hideo Kojima. And if you don't remember what the first Kojima-less Metal Gear was, that was Metal Gear Survive. So yeah, I guess we'll see how this one goes. Last year saw the return of the Armored Core series, so it's as good a time as any for another MechWarrior game. MechWarrior 5 Clans is set to come out sometime this year, marking the first sequel in the series since MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. This is a standalone game, although it's still called MechWarrior 5, which is odd. Tiny Glade is a free-form casual building game where you can make little castles and villas within a tiny glade. The game promises no combat or settlement management or anything you would usually find in a building sim. Just a cozy little game where you can make a castle and then admire it from afar with a cup of tea. 33 Immortals is a co-op action roguelike where 33 people can play together. Most games have trouble getting 2-player co-op to function. And here this game is promising 33-player co-op. How is that even supposed to work? Will you just log in and be added into a huge group of 33 random people? Or will you be allowed to partner up with 33 of your friends? Who even has 33 friends? Who has time for that? It sounds like a crazy idea, but you know what? I really want to experience it. Also, the goal of this game is to team up and fight God. I'm in. Silence of the Siren looks like an interesting concept. It takes place in a universe where various civilizations are all at war with one another over the resources left in their crumbling galaxy. You explore planets, build bases, engage in turn-based battles, and I'm not sure, but it looks like one of the civilizations is made up of mole people riding motorcycle mechs. Avowed, Obsidian's big open-world RPG is theoretically coming out this year and will even be on Game Pass. Obsidian has a history of taking ideas that Bethesda has done before and doing them much better than Bethesda ever could. So their crack at making a Skyrim could be the game that finally makes people stop talking about Skyrim. There are a lot of horror franchises that are making a comeback, one of which is the often overlooked and underrated Clock Tower series. The first Clock Tower game that was released on the Super Famicom is getting remastered and released on modern consoles. We don't know much about this project or even have much footage of it, but it is nice to know that a new generation will get the chance to develop an extreme phobia of scissors. Star Wars Outlaws is Ubisoft's attempt at making a great Star Wars game, and this one will apparently not involve Jedis. Until it does. You know Jedis are going to show up at some point. They always do. They're like ants. It'll be interesting to see what Ubisoft does with the Star Wars franchise, and here's hoping that they don't just turn it into another Assassin's Creed or Far Cry game. And finally, there's Stalker 2. Heart of Chernobyl, which is the long-awaited next entry in the Stalker franchise. Judging by the trailer, this looks amazing. Plenty of monsters, weird sci-fi thingamajigs, angry people in sweaters, and what's even better is that it's going to be a day one release on Game Pass. So you're basically getting this big, fancy, open-world RPG for free. Of course, judging by the graphical quality of this game, it could set your computer on fire, and in that case, it could wind up being pretty expensive. And that's our list of the most anticipated games of 2024. I would also put Hollow Knight Silk Song in this video, except I'm pretty sure that's not coming out this year. In fact, I'm no longer sure that it's actually a game. I'm starting to think that it was just a collective fever dream that we all had. For more gaming news and guides, be sure to check out thegamer.com. I'm Jamie Latour, and we'll see you next time.